Welcome to Get Solutions. This is your Lokesh. So, in this session, we are going to discuss the influence of different cost elements on business enterprise. So, the various cost elements which affect the business organization. Let's see one by one what are the different cost elements which affect the business enterprise. So, under that, first one, material, and second one, labor and expenses, factory overhead, and fifth one, office and administration overhead, and last one, selling and distribution overhead. So these are the various cost elements which affect the business organization. This concept is also not new concepts to you. Let's see one by one. Material. By seeing these images, you get to know that the examples for the material. So the first image, cloth, and second one, iron ore, and third one, silicon, which is used to produce the processor. Let's see what is material. A material is any substances or substance which is used in the production or production process. You know very well, to produce the product, either it is a semi-finished goods or finished goods, you need a material, that is raw material. Let's see, the material can be classified into two types. That is, first one, direct material, and another one, indirect material. Let's differentiate the direct material and indirect material now. By seeing the different names which is given to the material, that is direct or indirect, only you get to know the meaning of direct material and indirect material. See, the direct materials, the first image is nothing but raw cotton, and second one, crude oil, and third one, steel to make automobiles spare parts. So I will explain with the two images here. Observe first image, that is raw cotton, which is used to produce the semi or finished goods. In the finished goods itself, we can see that the particular raw cotton is used to produce this product, and also steel to make automobiles. That is third image. Observe here, when the steel is used to make the automobile spare parts, by seeing automobile spare parts only, we can say that the steel which can be used to produce the particular spare part of the automobile. These are the examples for the direct material. Now see the meaning of direct material now. Direct material refers to the cost of material which becomes a major part of the finished product or integral part of the finished product, which can be traceable to the finished products. By using a raw cotton, you take it as example, saree. By using a steel to produce the automobile spare parts, take it as a automobile spare parts only. By seeing these finished products or semi-finished products, you can say that raw cotton or steel is used to produce this product, which means the direct material is a cost of material which becomes a major part of the finished product. So the raw cotton is a major part to produce to make the saree, that is cotton saree. And in the third image, the steel is a major part to produce the automobile spare parts. By this, we know that the direct materials which is used as a major part in the finished products. So therefore, it is also called as integral part of the finished products, which can be traceable to the finished products. When the raw cotton is used to make the saree, we can easily trace that raw cotton in that particular saree after producing, after finishing. Similarly, after making a spare parts with the using of steel or raw steel, we can easily trace that steel is used to make the spare parts. When the material can be traceable in the final product or finished product, then those materials can be called as direct material. Similarly, crude oil also. Next, see the indirect material. What is indirect material? See the examples for the indirect material. So we know already that is direct material can be easily traceable in the final product, but indirect material just opposite to the direct material. So in this indirect material, we cannot trace the raw substances in the final product. Example, see glue and thread and printing and stationery item. By seeing glue, we don't know from which raw material it can be produced, right? So glue is the final product, but we don't know what is the raw product. It cannot be traceable in the glue. Similarly, in thread also, we know that thread is the final product, but we don't know what is the raw or what is the raw substance which is used to make this thread. It cannot be traceable in this particular thread, even in stationery or printing item also. So therefore, indirect material are used as an ancillary to the manufacture the product, and it cannot be traced into the finished product. By seeing these examples, you get to know that we cannot trace the raw substance or raw material in this glue, in this thread, and in this printing and stationery item. But under direct material, we can easily trace that final or raw substance which is used in the final product. That is the slight difference between the direct material and indirect material. Next, see the second one, labor. So labor can be classified into two types here. You know, even though the company or business organization well versed in the technical operations, without labor and human intervention, it is not possible to survive the business organization. So labor and labor expense is also one of the important cost element on the business organization. So this labor can be classified into two types. One is direct labor and another one is indirect labor. Let's see. Labor is a physical or mental efforts on the product or production of an item. You know very well, the labor intervention, the labors are play a vital role in producing the product. So without physical and mental efforts by them, it is not possible to produce the product. Therefore, labor is a very important element for the business organization. So therefore, labor cost is also a significant factor which affect the business organization. So that we can discuss now what is the direct labor and indirect labor. See, direct labor. What is this direct labor? See the examples, machine operators. Here the operator, observe once again, operator operates the machine directly. In the second example, assemblers. Here the assemblers assembling the parts of the CBC board. Right? Direct labor directly engaged in the production process. So when the laborers directly engaged in the production process, then the labor comes under direct. That is direct labor. See once again, direct labor who are directly engaged in the production process, labors associated with the workers who are engaged in the production process. So it is also stated the same meaning when physical and mental efforts put to the machine operation or for the any operations of the business organization directly by the labor or the workers, then that should be called as direct labor. Next, indirect labor. See, it is just opposite to the direct labor. In the direct labor, the person or labor directly engaged in the operations of the business organization. And the indirect labor, the person indirectly engaged in the operations of the business organization. The best example, supervisor and timekeepers. Observe here, supervises the operations of the business organizations, and they have the various functional roles of the business operations. And also in the second example, timekeepers. So the time is also very important for the production. With the two example, the supervisor and timekeeper, they are not part directly to the business operations, but they are indirectly support the business operations. So therefore, this type of labors can be called as indirect labor. See the meaning, indirect labor, they are not directly in the composition of raw materials or finished goods. They are indirectly engaged in the production process. Next, expenses. You know very well what is expense. It is part of our life. See, expenses is nothing but it is required for something. It may be anything. Expenses can be classified into two types, direct expenses and indirect expenses. Let's see in brief what is direct and indirect expenses. This direct expenses is different from the indirect expenses. First, let me discuss now what is direct expenses here. So the direct expenses includes any expenditure other than the direct material and direct labor. The expenses charged directly to the production or product as a part of the prime cost. So this direct material and direct labor is also a part of prime cost, but excluding that direct material cost and direct labor cost, then the part of expenses will be called as the direct expenses. So this direct expenses does not include the direct material and direct labor cost. Other than the direct material and other than the direct labor cost, then all other expenses are cost related to the direct expenses, which is a part of prime cost only. So this is the exact meaning of direct expenses. See, once again, the direct expenses includes any expenditure other than the direct and direct labor and direct material cost or expenses. This type of direct expenses particularly charged directly to the production process or production or product as a prime cost or as a part of prime cost. When the expenses directly charged to the production process or to a particular product as a part of prime cost, then these type of expenses can be called as direct expenses. Similarly, indirect expenses, observe the indirect expenses charged indirectly to the production process or indirectly to the products or a task or a job or any type of orders. So these type of expenses incurred for the business organization as a whole rather than the particular product. So here one thing you have to observe here, under the indirect expenses, it is charged indirectly to the production process or for a task or for the operations or for the any type of orders. But these type of expenses charged for the business organization as a whole, but not for the particular product. That is, rather than the particular product, when the expenses charged to the production process or job or order by the business organization, then these type of expenses will be called as indirect expenses. So with the example, you get to know that what is exact direct expenses and indirect expenses. So this can be studied from your first PU and second PUC itself. Let's see what are the examples for direct expenses and indirect expenses. As usual, you know the expenses can be classified into two types. That is, one is direct expenses and another one is indirect expenses. So let's see the examples of direct expenses. So purchase price of goods, it is directly charged to the goods, and carriage on goods purchases and wages and insurance of goods in transit and customer duty and freight charges. So these are all the direct expenses. So you have studied in your first PU and second PU also in preparing the final accounts and trading and profit and loss account. So in trading and profit and loss account only, we are going to use the direct expenses and indirect expenses and all. Okay, so you are familiar with these concepts also. So just it is a glance. See, indirect expenses: salary paid, rent paid, insurance of building paid, and printing and postage and telegram charges and other legal charges. So these are all the indirectly charged to the production process or product as a whole by the business organization. So the next, overheads. So overheads is nothing but the combination of indirect material, indirect wages and indirect expenses. All indirect material, wages and expenses together we called as overheads. So that is the case. The meaning also stated the same thing. Overheads is the aggregate of indirect material, that is indirect labor and indirect expenses. So these all together, these all indirect costs together are called as overheads. Let's see one by one what is the different types of overheads which is charged for a business organization production process. So overheads can be classified into three parts: factory overhead, administration overhead, finally selling and distribution overhead. Let's see what is factory overhead. The overheads related to factory is also called as factory cost or works cost. Let's see the meaning of factory overhead. Factory overhead is also known as the manufacturing expenses because these overheads incurred for the production and manufacturing. So therefore, these expenses will be called as the factory burden or factory overhead or factory cost. Let's see the examples for the factory overhead. The examples for factory overhead: hand tools. So it is used in the production and manufacturing processes. So therefore, to purchase the hand tools, we have to spend. So therefore, hand tools is also factory cost. And next, work stationery is also factory cost. And lubricants, oil, it is also used in the manufacturing process. And cotton waste, it is also related to factory overhead. So these are some of the examples for the factory overhead. And next one, administration overhead. The cost which is incurred for the office and administration. So this type of cost comes under the administration overhead. Let's see what is administration overhead. Administration or administrative overhead is the cost of planning and controlling the general policies and operations of the business organization or business enterprise. So, the cost or overheads incurred for the planning process of the business operations and for maintaining and for controlling the general policies which is implemented towards the business operations for the success of the business organization, the sum of the cost will be spent by the business organization. So these costs which is incurred for planning, controlling and maintaining the general policies towards the business operations. So this type of overheads will be called as administration or administrative overhead. Let's see with the example, you will get a clarity about this administration overhead. Usually all cost which cannot be a fixed cost, variable cost and mixed cost. So here, other than the fixed cost and variable cost and mixed cost, we called as the cost related to general policies and for planning and controlling is known as the administration cost. See here, there are three concepts again. Fixed cost, which remains constant irrespective of production. Even though the production quantities will be going to increase or decrease, the cost will be remains the same here under the fixed cost, that you know very well. And also variable cost. So it is a changing cost, or it is also called as a marginal cost, because this cost will be going to change with the respective of output or a production quantities. If the quantity will be going to increase, the variable cost is also increases. If the quantity will be going to decreases, and the variable cost or marginal cost is also going to decrease. So that's why it is called as the changing cost or variable cost. And one more thing, that is mixed cost. It is a combination of fixed cost and variable cost. That is, some portion is fixed and some portion is mixed. So that's why it is called as mixed cost or combination of the fixed and variable cost. So except these costs, what and all the costs are related to the planning and controlling and the general policies of the business organization. So those costs will be called as the administration overhead. See the example here. Telephone bill and toner, which is used to print the paper or text on a paper. So toner may be in the powder or a liquid, but it is used to print. Next, photocopier or Xerox copy. So these are all comes under the administration overhead. And the next concept, selling and distribution overhead. So what is selling and distribution overhead here? See, this selling and distribution overhead is an expense generally incurred when the product is a saleable condition. Yes, of course, when the stock or a product is under saleable condition, then the situation of selling generates. See, a selling and distribution overhead is an expense or a generally incurred when the product is in the saleable condition, then the overhead for general selling and distribution overhead will be automatically incurred for the product or the services. See, it covers the cost of making the sales and delivering the or dispatching the product. See, these overheads completely related to the selling and distribution overhead. That is, from the point of selling until delivery of that product or dispatch of that product to the target audience. If any other expenses incurred between this, then it is comes under the selling and distribution overhead. See, once again, selling and distribution overhead is the expense generally incurred when the product is in the saleable condition, and also these selling and distribution overheads covers the cost of making the sales. In order to make the sale, what is the cost incurred for that particular product? So that will be called as the overhead for the selling and distribution. And also for delivering and dispatching the same product to the target audience, what is the cost incurred for that particular product? So that cost again will be called as the overhead. So ultimately the overhead or overhead costs will be related to selling and distribution only. See the example here so that you will get a clarity about this concept. Advertising. So in order to make the in order to sell the product, advertising is so important and promotion is so important. So it is also one of the part of selling and distribution overhead. And the sales manager salaries. So it is also part of selling and distribution overhead. And commission, brokerage charges and packing charges and storage charges and transportation. So these expenses completely related to selling and distribution overhead are completely the part of the selling and distribution overhead. So these items and expenses comes under the selling and distribution overhead.